The top 11 drought-tolerant trees. The most noteworthy aesthetic trait of this ancient drought-tolerant tree is its fall color. But landscapers also value Ginkgo Biloba, commonly called maidenhair tree, for the exquisite fan shape of its leaves. Shagbark hickory shares the trait of good fall color with Ginkgo Biloba. But this hickory furnishes visual interest during another season, too, one during which maidenhair tree has little to offer, winter. In this case, the interest lies in the bark, not the leaves. Shagbark hickory has a bark that peels like that of some birch trees. Redbud Cercis canadensis is best known for its look in spring. Before it even puts out leaves, its branches are studded with the tufts of pinkish-purple blooms that give this drought-tolerant tree its common name. It blooms in April or May, depending on where you live. This medium-sized tree reaches 20 to 30 feet tall, with a spread of 25 to 35 feet. Grow it in full sun and in USDA plant hardiness zones 4 to 8. Another common plant name for red maple is swamp maple. This fact could well lead you to believe that Acer rubrum is not a drought-tolerant tree. But don't be fooled, this is simply a case where the specimen in question is found in a wide range of habitats, representative of a variety of conditions. They boast a survival mechanism whereby they stop growing under dry conditions. The elm was a classic street tree in North America during the first half of the 20th century. Then Dutch elm disease struck, changing the urban landscape considerably, and for the worse. In the case of this tall specimen, the most noteworthy trait, at maturity, is its vase-shaped plant form. The Princeton elm is a much-anticipated disease-resistant alternative that has been developed to replace this icon. Hawthorns provide the first example of another much sought-after trait in the trees we use in our landscaping: good flowering display. As a bonus, those blooms later yield to vibrantly colored berries. Those berries, in turn, will draw wild birds in the winter, which is yet another trait in a tree important to many homeowners. Everyone knows about the fall foliage season, but there is also a spring foliage season for gardeners in the know. For some plants, the new leaves they put out in spring are just as noteworthy as their fall leaves. Such is the case with sunburst honey locust. Technically shrubs, tall types of sumacs such as staghorn are trees in all but name, and even the shorter types will strike most homeowners more as dwarf trees than as shrubs. Sumac is an exceptional fall foliage specimen. Even more so than hawthorns, crepe myrtles are showy flowering trees. Some feel that they are overused in the American Southeast, but there are reasons why they are so popular, and one of them is the fact that they are drought-tolerant trees. It doesn't hurt that a row of blooming crepe myrtles can simply be a breathtaking sight. Leyland cypress is an example of an evergreen that is a drought-tolerant tree. Like crepe myrtle, Leyland cypress is very popular in the American Southeast and so faces the charge of overuse there. In its defense, a row of these fast-growing, drought-tolerant trees can be trimmed so as to form a neat living privacy fence that will screen out unwanted attention year-round. Mugo pine is another evergreen. More interesting, though, is the fact that it's the opposite of sumac, in the sense that it's technically a tree but gives every appearance of being a shrub. In fact, dwarf mugo pine is so short that it functions effectively as a ground cover. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.